As I was walking around the room yesterday, I couldn't help but notice that some of you are working diligently and some of you are experiencing a certain degree of frustration and emptiness in your soul. I urge, let's just review this. The quote this week: the feeling of frustration, the act of being stumped, is an essential part of the creative process. Before we can find the answer, before we probably even know the question, we must be immersed in disappointment, convinced that a solution is beyond our reach. Woe is me. Jonah is bringing a very common experience that creative people we have, that you know all about now. I can't figure this out. That's right. And you have two options. You can give up, or you can continue to try, because you will eventually come up with something. Whether or not that something is golden or not remains to be seen, but giving up leads nowhere. Now, back to our prompt. I noticed a lot of you working and either forgetting or perhaps perished the thought, having never understood the lesson when it passed you by. The idea that you change the font well, there's lots of things here. Changing the font, changing the case, all kinds of things. Let's go through a few at a time. Now, in Photoshop, you have to highlight all the text, and I'm watching most of you do that. In Illustrator, you just have to select it. If you want to cycle through fonts, you just click on the name of the font and use the up or down arrows to cycle through. Now, if I've watched people retyping the text. I want to see what it's like in upper and lowercase or all caps. Well, you could do that. And I'm going to forsake the making a copy for comparison purposes just for this movie. Look, under type and change case. What's this look like in lowercase? Okay, I'm going to undo that. Come back here. Type. What is title case? Title case, my one complaint is Illustrator's not recognizing that the T would not be capitalized, nor the I in title case, because these, in article, little small words are not generally capitalized. Up is a small word, but this is a prominent word. Talk to your English teacher about title case. He or she will be much more able to explain this with clarity. However, I'm going to undo a couple more times, get back to my all caps. And there's a question was asked, where's the B? I want to make this bolder. Okay, well, in Microsoft Word, you can click the B and it adds a faux, a fake boldness to the letter forms. Illustrator does not have that. It does fake title. Well, to get to small caps, we're going to have to actually change case to title case, and then it will fake small caps. If small caps are part of the typeface, and in your font list, if you look for open type, these are true type, these are open type. Sometimes, not always, open type will contain a variation of the font which actually is small caps. This is fake. This is like the B in Microsoft Office. This is fake, and these are horrible, horrible examples of small caps. The idea that the font has an upper and lowercase, but the lowercase looks as if it belongs to the same font family. These are just great big, horribly bold versions of these small letters. This is not anything I would ever want you to use. However, if I change this font to something like Trajan Pro, which does have the small cap. Sorry about that. Now you see that the thickness of these letters, it matches perfectly. Let's switch this type. Let's go to change case and go back to all uppercase. So you can see these are the uppercase versions of these letters, and if I undo, these are the small caps. So this is acceptable for small caps, but that horrible, if I back up, this, oh my goodness, never ever even think of using something like this. This is hideous. This is like the B key in Microsoft Office. I'm going to take small caps off. Another question was, well, with that B key, how can I make it bolder? If, now this is a big if these letters had a uniform stroke width, the width of the one side of the A, the other side of the A, this cross member, you can see if you look at this, they're 3 different sizes. You know, this looks slightly wider than this, and this cross member is definitely thicker. But if you were to add a stroke to this, double click the same color as the text, oh my goodness, and I am not suggesting you do this. Now we have, so come back down so we can see this, we have created a slightly bolder version of this font. If we wipe that out, you see that undo, we go back to it. Do you see it? So you can play with this on your own, but I do not recommend this. Some fonts are more forgiving than others, but it is one way to do it. But generally, you destroy the typographic integrity of the font. You start making things look unnatural. But that's one option you have. All right, this video is long enough with those tips. I want you to think about, and remember, if you're creating, you know, caps, remember which words are capitalized and which words are not. Remember to work smart, that frustration's part of the process, and just stick with it. Look at other designers' work. Walk around the room, look what everybody else is doing. That's completely fine. Do it. I've encouraged you to do that over and over and over. And if you see somebody who's really starting to hit their stride, ask, wow, how'd you come up with that idea? And, you know, it's okay to stumble about. What's not okay is to work blindly without seeking out examples of good design. Look at what works, figure out why your design is or isn't working, and continue the process. All right, enjoy. I'm going to come back with a video about the Finder of all things that will help you, dare we say, find things.